Here's a short recap of Part 17 of the Frogger series. First, create a widget blueprint that we'll call WBP_HUD. We'll add a canvas panel to anchor our widget items. We'll add in a progress bar that we'll rename to time bar, and a text box that we'll label as time. Go to the event graph, and in the event construct, we'll set the time bar's percent to be 1, which corresponds to be full. Then create a custom event that we'll call update time bar. That takes in an input and allows us to pass in a new value for the time bar. Next, we'll open the game manager and create two variables of type float that we'll call total time and time remaining. Now create a custom event called reset timer that sets the time remaining variable to equal total time. In the event begin play, we'll create the HUD widget and store it as a reference variable to be used later. Then call the reset timer event and pull into a set timer by function name and pass in the name update time. Then we'll create two custom functions called update time and timeout. In the update time function, we'll decrement the time remaining variable and pass it to the HUD by calling the update time bar event using the HUD reference. We'll also check if the time remaining is less than or equal to 0, and if so, we'll call the timeout function. The timeout function will simply cast to the player blueprint and call the death event that lives there. Let's open the player blueprint, and in the event begin play, we'll get the HUD reference from the game manager and add it to the player's viewport so the widget renders on screen. Then, in the spawn and swap event, we'll get the game manager's reference and call the reset timer event. Finally, let's create a way to start and stop the game timer. Back in the game manager, we'll store the timer as a reference variable and create two custom events called start timer and stop timer, which simply pause and unpause the game timer using the reference variable. Then in the update time function, call stop timer after the timeout function. Head back to the player blueprint, and in the spawn and swap, we'll call the start timer after we called reset timer. Then in the death event, we'll call the stop timer event. And just like that, we've created our player HUD and game timers for this project. Stay tuned for Part 18.